really something cultural that you're saying, that there's something about Americans that we have a lustier disposition than the French, or is it something else?
No. It's really a question mark. I just cannot understand it. I just cannot understand it. The American position as death penalty, to me, it strikes me as being totally absurd, totally against what I would say the vocation des États-Unis, which is the first democracy in the world, and at the very end, extraordinarily unproductive for the American people. The attitude of the American people towards death penalty is desperately provincial, just provincial. And I'm convinced, I'll tell you very, very strongly, that in a rather shorter time that people think, we shall have universal abolition of death penalty, just as we have universal prohibition of torture. And if you come to think about it, what's death penalty, if not the supreme form of torture? So I'm very, very optimistic.
I don't personally believe in the death penalty. I think that it is an antiquated and inhumane thing. However, for me, as opposed to the gentleman to my right, I believe that democracy trumps my personal view about what the death penalty should be.
Your Honor, objection. What's democracy? Think of it. It's not only a technique going to the universal suffrage. Democracy has a moral basis which is les droits de l'homme. A democracy without les droits de l'homme is no democracy. And the first fundamental right of any human being is the right to have his life respected. Le premier des droits de l'homme, c'est le droit au respect de sa vie. That's it.
Right.
And if you leave that, you open the way to all of the all fields of death penalty.
Problem with that
ça
answer,
la question. That's the question.
Neal,
Democracy without respect of rights of man is no democracy.
Neal, you have the floor now.
Right.
No.
I respect the passion with the answer, but I mean, that I do think begs the question, right? I mean, the idea that we haven't had a democracy in the world until, 30 years ago, until France and other countries abolished the death penalty, I mean, that's preposterous.
Une démocratie inaccomplie, unaccomplished democracy.
Well,
We also had a so-called democracy, may I remind you, during the time of the founding fathers or the French Revolution, they only forgot who? The slaves.
But Neal, go ahead.
So
There were women, they
but-
couldn't vote, but it was democracy.
we could fold anything we want into our conception of democracy. I do think it's a tough argument to say that democracy requires abolition of the death penalty. I've always understood democracy to mean to mean something that is a bit more precise than that. So, but we'll agree to disagree.